Hello.
Welcome back. So today we're going to talk about our top healthy foods that you might potentially want to avoid.
So it's not necessarily going to mean that you can't have anything at any time, but it's just good to know some of these things so you can avoid certain things at certain times.
Exactamundo.
Exactamundo. Right, so the first point we're going to make is about those generic smoothies. Not going to mention any names because there are many available.
Brands.
Yes, so fruit. Obviously fruit is good, but obviously it's also very high in sugar. And what we're trying to think is about portion control. So when you get one of those smoothies, you're looking at maybe 15, 20 oranges in some cases to fill that bottle. You only really want to be having one. So it's a massive, massive shoot up in sugar. Way too much in one serving.
And the sugar that tends to be in a lot of fruits is fructose, okay? So fructose is handled a little bit differently by your body. It's going to go into your liver first before it can be changed to glucose and be stored in your muscles as glycogen, basically. So it also has the potential to be turned to fat. Also, fructose has the ability to inhibit your kind of ghrelin and leptin, which are basically hormones which help with your satiety and hunger. Okay, the next one is bread. Not so much homemade bread, but more bread you buy from the supermarket and stuff like that. They contain gluten and wheat. And for a lot of people it's not an issue, but for a whole bunch of people it is an issue. And I think it's something like 90% of people that are slightly sensitive to gluten don't even know. Okay, this can be due to permeable gut and other reasons, but it's something that you might want to avoid if you find that it makes you bloat or it just makes you really lethargic.
So point number 3, quite simply, low fat, low cholesterol, low heart disease spreads. In a nutshell, it's basically just other companies going on people's insecurities and making more money from their crap.
Yeah, so as you know, vegetable oil, which we're going to talk about later, is not a very favourable oil. And basically, to make the margarines and a lot of low-fat spreads, obviously vegetable oil is liquid at room temperature. They shoot hydrogen ions into it to make it solid at room temperature. So you've taken an already rubbish oil, which is full of omega-6, which we'll talk about,
you heat it up.
and you heat it up. So basically, omega-6 can be like an inflammatory effect in your body. There's a ratio between omega-3 and omega-6, which we've talked about loads, okay? And then fight for balance. In our diet, as a rule, we consume way too much omega-6 as it is. And these spreads that are supposedly good for your heart have way much more omega-6 than they do omega-3. So not that great for your heart at all.
So the next one, once again, this is all about timing. Isotonic sports drinks. We know they're sold in every bloody nook and cranny and corner in every single gym.
I'm going to do 15 minutes of cardio and I need one.
Yeah, and that is the point. They are brilliant. They are absolutely brilliant. But if you're coming in and you're just on the cross trainer for 10-15 minutes, barely breaking a sweat, and then you're swigging a I'm not going to say the name, a generic isotonic drink all the way through, it's not going to give you any benefit. You really need to be having those, you need to be completely breaking your balls for an hour before you're even going to deplete your stores that you've got in your muscles. So it's about timing. Don't have them all the way through the gym. You want to have them at the end at the very most.
Yeah, that's the thing, guys. When you have that, which is basically full of sugar, the idea behind it is that you've depleted your energy stores of either glycogen or glucose in your blood. So after 90 minutes of work is then when you need one. So it's kind of an endurance work. And the thing is, as soon as you spike blood sugar, you're not going to burn fat. So if you're having something sugary before you train, you're not going to burn fat, especially if fat burning is your goal. Okay, so the next one we want to talk about, first before last, is pasteurised milk. Okay, especially like the skimmed variety that people like to go for, okay? So milk is full of fat-soluble vitamins. If you take the fat out of the milk, you're left with more lactose, which people have a problem with, which is kind of the sugar that's in milk. You're left more of that, and the vitamins with no fat to really break them down. All right. Also, it's interfered with a lot more when it's been put through a factory and stuff like that. It's been homogenized. That's so
Homogenized.
That's so hard to say that word.
Phenomenal word to say on a morning.
So if you find that you struggle a little bit with milk, try goat's milk or sheep's milk for a little bit of variety, and they tend to not be interfered with so much.
Interfered with. Also, one other tip, because I have found a lot of resistance with some of my clients that I just absolutely love milk. I don't.
Stay away from soy.
I like goat's milk. I don't like any of that stuff. A rule of thumb we normally say is the closer to the T, the better. So or the tit, the breast, the udder, that's the one.
Next to the breast, I'm all about that.
I love the breast. So the final thing we're going to talk about, John touched upon this earlier when we were talking about spreads and cholesterol spreads, is vegetable oils. And it's all about their balance in omega-3 and omega-6. Really high omega-6 means pro-inflammatory in the body. You really want to keep that balance down if you can. We talk about using coconut oil. We absolutely love it because it's a pressed natural oil. And a little gem John was just talking about is about the virginness of the oils.
Yeah, ideally for coconut oil you want extra virgin olive oil. Virgin just means first pressing. Things that are cold pressed or naturally taken oils are much better for you rather than vegetable oils which are kind of synthetically removed and then they get changed to margarine and stuff like that. So on the top of coconut oil, I know it's like a big fad at the moment, everyone loves it, but it is very good. It's full of MCTs, so medium chain triglycerides. It means it's more available fat to be used as energy. It also breaks the blood-brain barrier, helps make you more focused. So don't cook with extra virgin olive oil, okay? It's not heat stable, so it won't withstand heat. It's just a cold dressing, whereas things like coconut oil, like beef dripping, lard are the stuff that you kind of want to fry and cook with as a rule. So do your roasties in like goose fat or something.
Right, so we'll be back this time next week, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that's cleared up the stuff that you should maybe not be eating, or maybe not be eating at this certain times. We love you all, and toodaloo.
Bye-bye. How do I keep my gut healthy? And by the way, keeping your gut healthy is going to really improve your chances of staying nice and